Hello, everybody. How are you all doing? I'm Mr. Moohead. How about you? I don't expect you to be Mr. Moohead. Uh, I'm doing something a little different. I'm trying to stream on Instagram. So if anybody wants to flip over, I'm Mr. Moohead, just MrMoohead. I'm just trying out streaming through my platform into Instagram. You might want to see if it works or not. And I'm going to bring the Moose of Truth in. Hi, Moose. How you doing?
Yeah, I just hit the wrong button, so
It happens to me with women all the time.
just hit the wrong button. You
Yeah.
you have to find the button first of all.
I know. I mean, and God forbid, why the button's always under a hood? I don't
It's just,
I don't understand that at all.
exactly.
So, how is everybody doing out there in Moo Moo Land?
I'm fine. I haven't been ripped to pieces by a tornado or wild bears or anything like that. So
Well, that's good.
fine.
So that's a start.
That's a
Uh,
start.
Here's what I want to talk a little bit about today, and it's the title of the program. What if Browns fans are actually hurting their own team?
They are
I'm gonna draw up a scenario.
a map. Draw us a map.
No, this is just a scenario, and I'm not going to tell you that this is the truth or this is what's happening because all over it's saying, why would the Browns add a third quarterback behind Deshaun Watson and Jameis Winston, and then pick up Tyler Huntley? Why would they do it?
Why? Why is it?
Yeah, I don't.
Do Andy Rooney.
Nobody knows for sure why. Okay.
Okay.
But here's a scenario. What would happen if the Cleveland Browns came to terms with Jameis Winston and they signed him up for a 1-year deal?
Yeah.
And in so doing, all you get in Cleveland Browns fan sites is, oh, he's just another rapist, just like Deshaun Watson. Except here's the thing with Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston has found the Lord. I don't know where he found him. Okay.
Hiding behind the curtains, usually.
Yeah. And I don't know when he became religious, but he was saying that the Lord, that he consulted the Lord, and which I think is his agent. But be that as it may, he said that but what if what he did in 2017, that he is a changed person? And as soon as he signs with the Cleveland Browns, or the word gets out that he is signing with the Cleveland Browns, it just says, oh, great. Now we got two sex offenders. We got Deshaun Watson and Jameis Winston. And if you're Jameis Winston, at what point do you sit back and say, I don't want to play there? I put that behind me, and I've been playing football for a bunch of other teams, and this city is still in a fucking time warp, and there are a bunch of unforgiving bastards, and I don't want to play there. I'm just saying, what if?
What if?
And, and what if the reason that we had to run out and get Tyler Huntley was because we don't really know that we have a second string quarterback, because Jameis Winston may have bailed out because he didn't want to go through all of this bullshit that he wouldn't go through with any other team.
Correct.
That would get him. Any other team. Only Cleveland. Anyone else would have gotten Deshaun Watson, and the fans would have said nothing. In Cleveland, look at what we've done. Oh, Tim Couch, look, he's crying. I can give you so many examples of what Browns fans have put players through. It's not good. And as far as I'm concerned, is this a reality, or are the Browns just going 3 deep simply because they always go 4 deep, and DTR will be there too? And they didn't invest much money in Tyler Huntley, a 1-year deal, but DTR didn't really prove that he could play football last year, except for one drive against our hated rivals. Other than that, maybe we're just carrying these quarterbacks because, hey, it's happening there. Another thought is that, well, what if Deshaun Watson isn't healing properly? You see, all of this brings up every negative slant from the Cleveland fan base that you can imagine. The word is that Deshaun Watson might start throwing this week. It might be his time to start throwing. But then again, this is a play it by ear kind of situation. Hi, Bobby. How you doing? Bobby Alcott's my man. And he's a Steelers fan. You done pretty good for yourself there. You traded in Pickett and you got Russell Wilson and an added extra bonus. Yeah.
Like you got a Ginsu knife and the Marshall Brodini TV magic cards all at the same time.
And we're going to add Tony into the mix. Hi, Tony. How you doing? Hey, so, just talking to Bobby Alcott here, I'll tell you what I think about the Steelers. I think that if you promote a 35-year-old quarterback and you also have dismissed the 25-year-old quarterback, and then you're turning around and you're picking up another young quarterback who's 3 years in and just hasn't gone anywhere with the Bears, that Russell Wilson is your starter. And that's what the Steelers are saying. What Kenny Pickett's saying is that he's thrilled to be in Philadelphia. What Pittsburgh press is saying, the Gazette specifically was saying, is that he didn't handle the acquisition of Russell Wilson very well. And so the team basically found a new spot for him and then picked up Justin Fields, but that Justin Fields won't be starting this year. This is everything that I'm reading and hearing about the Pittsburgh quarterback situation. But I got to tell you, I mean, it looks a little more upsidey to me than Kenny Pickett and Mason Rudolph. That's just me.
I would agree with that.
I'm sure Bobby feels the same way too. Absolutely sure of that. And hello to Ron Leftman. How you doing, Ron Leftman? And hello, David Talevsky. Hello, Amsterdam. Nice to see you folks hanging out. So I guess when all is said and done for me, I don't know the reason why the Browns do what the Browns do. I mean, it's hard to figure out.
Unfathomable.
Yes.
Yeah.
However, I think that the Browns need as much productivity out of a backup quarterback that they can get.
Yeah.
And again, what they've done is, if Jameis Winston is really signing with the Cleveland Browns, and I have no reason to say that he's not going to, but I guarantee you, if he doesn't, if they come up with another deal and they decide that they're going to go that way, it's because of the fan base. 100% because of that.
Yeah.
There would be no reason why he would agree to it and then bail out until he saw that he was going to have to relive something he did when he was 24, 23 years of age. And if we're all judged by when we were 23 years of age, it would be a real cold fucking world, wouldn't it?
I'd be in jail.
I mean, I just think of myself when I was coming out. I flunked out of college, for God's sakes.
Wow.
I was a single guy pounding the pavement selling radio advertising for a Christian radio station, and I grew up in a Jewish house.
Well, there you go. I mean, I think Tony the Cow should be promoted to Tony the Cow now. Like he should be a cow.
No, he's legendary. He's legendary. Why age him before his time?
Well, we don't want to change the brand, huh? I think you need a rebranding. Tony the Cow.
No, that's too much like Lenny the Cow. That's copyright infringement. That can't be.
And Bobby's saying that that Kenny had a bit of an ego. It's shame he didn't have a whole lot of hands to go with it. His hands were a little like mine, little hands guy.
You rip the football. couldn't grip the ball properly.
And Talevsky is saying, I call David Mr. Positivity. He spreads his positive message amongst the masses. Now he's going after Bobby. It's like, well, I'm sure Fields will start before the season's over because Wilson's going to flame out. Tomlin has enough pressure on him as it is. And every single one of them are going to find out that they've got AIDS. And then they're not going to live through the season. It's like, thank you, David. Well, I mean, in a perfect
You're not
world,
wrong there, mate.
Justin Fields, they want to, if they're going to bring him along, they got to build his confidence back. And the Bears have a way of ripping that, of ripping it to shreds, confidence. But I think that Justin Fields will have to prove himself in preseason, and he's going to have to sit down for the beginning of the season to see what the Steelers are up to. And I think that I think a 35-year-old veteran will start out. This is not unlike what we saw with Bernie Kosar when Gary Danielson started out. It's like, well, what do we go through all the trouble of the supplemental draft to get Bernie Kosar when we're just going to start, Gary Danielson back in 1985? And it took a few games, and then when they brought Bernie out, Bernie didn't come out. So that's what they're.
Yeah, I'll give you a more recent example. It's when Hugh Jackson, or Hawaii, the revolutionary one, had Tyrod Taylor instead of Baker Mayfield play. So there you go. Tyrod Taylor's still out there too.
Look at David. You should see how I am at parties. You're the only one left at the party.
No.
Everyone makes a rapid exit for the door. Oh man. Yeah. Well,
So-
and the new GM is trying to push this thing forward, and
Come on.
people in Pittsburgh, with the exception of the Bubby Brister / Karl Malone period of time, they're not accustomed to losing. And when you have long-term quarterbacks like Terry Bradshaw, then you have Ben Roethlisberger, you're not used to going through a litany of quarterbacks. So this, win now attitude by the Steelers goes against some of the grain of an organization that's been very steadfast in their approach. So, at any rate, to go back, so 30 years of age is younger than 39.
Correct.
Jameis Winston instead of Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco's body would not hold up, for a 17-game season or a 14-game season, even if that.
He's really old enough to be president, for God's sakes, Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco's best job is what he's going to be in Indy. He's going to be a backup to Anthony Richardson. He can mentor the kid from the bench and give you a spot start if the kid gets hurt.
Is Anthony Richardson going to be ready to play?
That's my guess. I
don't know, because they
really hurt.
They only have Sam Urlacher on their right now up as their quarterback, and that's can't be that way. And the belief is that he signed there because he would get an opportunity to start.
Well,
so there may be question marks like there are about Deshaun Watson, about Richardson's health at this point, and when he would be able to get going. But Tyler Huntley is a seasoned DTR. In other words, he's another noodle arm guy who plays at a run first offense, but he is a 26-year-old, more mobile Case Keenum. That's what Tyler Huntley is. And that's why he managed to do okay with the Ravens, because the Ravens defense kept him in so many games.
Yeah.
And so, everything became very conservative. And that's why he would be looked at as a third string quarterback, because he has experience. DTR is the odd man out because he's got no seasoning, no experience. And you can't end up in the situation the Browns were in last year, where they got caught with their pants down and had to play PJ Walker and DTR. Right.
No, I mean, Huntley, he's pretty good. I mean, for what he is, I have a lot of time for him. I think he has Kevin Stefanski written all over his face. He that's the sort of offense that hits his thing, you know.
Rick. Good night, Chet.
Rick with
Good
his
night,
age
David.
references.
NBC Nightly News.
God almighty. So
So I'm assuming DTR is pretty much out the door at this point, and
No, he'll be like,
yeah, it's going to be
if-
very hard for him. It's
If-
gonna be very hard.
Jameis is signed, who knows with the Jameis Winston thing? But
Yeah, and time will tell that story. But the point of all of this is, if Jameis Winston decides to go someplace else, you can whine and cry all you want about the Joe Flacco thing, but you are responsible, Cleveland fans. You. Because saying bad shit about people, about things that they did 7 years ago, is not the thing that is going to make people want to come and play for this organization. It is not a good way of being. And I know that things are more unraveled today, that people are easily triggered today. It's I just wouldn't blame somebody for deciding, fuck it. It's a 1 year thing, and I'm not going to take 1 year of my life and go through this. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to allow them to typecast me that way. So that's that. Somebody in the chat room asked me if I was ready for baseball season.
are you ready for that sandpaper enema move?
I mean, can't you tell how much time I spend with baseball that I have this bulbous heart on for Major League Baseball? I just me and New Shoes, we can't wait. Wait.
Like, what do you? Who did the Guardians sign in the offseason? Who did, like my team? Like, we traded our best player for a guy who hasn't pitched in 2 years,
wow.
and he's out again this season. It's like, what?
Who is that?
Why the fuck? This DeScalafini pitcher or something from the Mariners. He traded Jorge Polanco to the Mariners, and he hasn't pitched in 2 years, and they just announced today he's out for the season. Needs Tommy John surgery. It's like,
Nice.
We-
That's
we
2
made-
years.
we made the second round of the playoffs, and this is how our ownership rewards the fan. Just trade everybody and hope and pray we win a couple games. Oh,
Well-
fuck! Why I don't even care.
Well, Shane Bieber pitched and he struck out 8 in a 4-2 win over the Reds, and he is literally trying out for every team that will trade for him. Okay? No, I'm serious.
He's trying to get a part in a Broadway musical at this point. Yeah, he's
Maybe he'll
have to
back
go
up his
naked.
cousin Justin on a movie.
Bobby, they make fun of me for my singing. They do. I'm a source of ridicule.
No, we're laughing with you, not at you.
Hey, see, there you go. This is a tough crowd, Bobby.
You're
This
quite
is
a
real tough
slouch.
crowd.
You're quite a slouch, Judge.
Yeah, thank you. Don't underestimate yourself. You're quite a slouch. Yeah, tomorrow is karaoke night. Right?
Oh no!
And
Is there trophies involved? Is there
it's
money in
Tuesday.
trophies?
I mean, here's something that I'm at liberty to say.
Ooh,
All right,
a peek behind the moo curtain.
a peek behind the moo curtain. And I wasn't planning on doing this because Bobby's in the chat. Bobby is an acquaintance of mine from online karaoke, and at a place called Sing Snap. And he and I have become, he now that is a different, complete level of voice. This guy has a microphone that, honest to God, I mean, if microphones could appear in porn movies, this would be the microphone.
Oh yeah.
It's
Yeah,
the
I think
best-
we've talked about this. Yeah,
best microphone in the business, and he's got a tremendous voice, and he's done all kinds of voiceover work. He's done a lot of jingle singing and all kinds of just singing in general. It's just but part of the site, for those people who watch the program, Rocks, who is, the the other person in the household who sings karaoke with me, Rox and I got married.
No
Did you?
way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Awesome.
yeah. Is that cool, or is that
Oh,
cool?
bless.
When did this take place?
Oh, God, about 6 months ago. No, no,
Just keeping it in all this time.
yeah, no. It was like a week and a half ago, and I just
Oh.
I felt like it. There were other people that I wanted to slowly
Oh.
matriculate the information to out of respect,
Yeah.
and I didn't want to go on social media and say something like that.
Yeah.
And then it would get back to other people that I know
wouldn't
who would,
know, and
and
it's
we'll
Yeah.
feel, how come you didn't tell us? That kind of thing,
Yeah.
That bullshit. Nobody can have a private ceremony anymore. Everything's
Like
gotta be
my
public.
father who passed away, his
Yeah.
wife, it's like I wanted, to let people know what was going on so that they didn't say, gosh, you think so little of me that you would tell a bunch of strangers on the internet.
Oh. Now did Topaz walk the ring down the aisle and fall asleep? No. Uh,
Wait a minute. You're both extremely lucky people.
Amsterdam, come on now.
Is that good?
Amsterdam.
Deserving of each other. That can go either way, though. It's like you both deserve one another.
Amsterdam. Who got up one knee and ended up
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not doing that kneeling down thing with the ring and all that, And the weird part of is she's younger than I am by 13 years. And there's an age difference when you present her with the ring and it goes in her nose.
or her belly button. Yeah.
That's right. Topaz was best dog. That's right.
He is the best dog. He is a very good boy or girl.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So, yeah, that microphone, people would kill for the Neumann. People would kill for that microphone.
Yeah, I remember we've had a long discussion about this years ago.
Yeah.
The last time Bobby was on, I think.
Yeah.
I am familiar with the Neumann microphone. I don't have one, but I'm familiar with it.
So, yeah. So instead, I'm sitting here talking into a blue microphone. Wait a minute, Bobby. Wait a minute.
Blue. Yeah, gotta do Blue Moon now.
Okay. Blue moon, I saw you standing alone. Oh,
Is that Dwayne Stats does Blue Moon?
That's right. Why am I echoing? Oh, okay, enough of that.
You're not dead. Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Make it stop.
I know. There wasn't any way I was going to sing Blue.
Did you guys dance to Titanium after the wedding or something? What was the reception?
Wait a minute.
Oh no!
I am Titanium.
It's
a little out of my range. What can I tell you? Oh, God.
That's Timmy Bartholomew singing that.
Timmy Bartholomew singing anything. That's kind of a... how about this for a headline? You're saying, oh, you're really looking forward to baseball. I know that Bobby's looking forward to baseball because, see, Bobby's dual. He's a Steeler fan, but he's from Michigan, and so he's a Detroit fan, and he knows the pressure that the Lions are under now because the world expects them. If they don't make the Super Bowl, it's a failure season. We know how that goes. Can't say the same thing for the Tigers because I don't remember the last time the Tigers were good.
I think Miguel Cabrera was thin the last time the Tigers were good. He's had a few more sausages since then.
Take it easy, Bobby. Be good. It was good seeing you.
We scared them away.
Poor DJ Brobot came in just in time for Titanium, and
There's no
he's wishing
sports going
deaf.
on.
Yeah. So here's the headline: Guardians reassign promising top prospect to minor league training camp.
They've reused that one every year for the past 30 fucking years.
Yeah, I mean,
That's what they
this
do.
is Kyle Manzardo, who has done nothing but hit.
Oh, well, repeat that name again.
Kyle Manzardo.
Wow, he was with the T-Birds and Johnny Zuko, wasn't he?
Yeah, right. Go Grease Lightning. Yeah. He's been swinging a hot bat. Did too good. Did way too good.
He was way too good, yeah.
Yep. So he has been reassigned to minor league camp. He's banished. All right. He's their number 2 prospect, and it's all about, well, we can't get the clock ticking early, and we're going to send him down and ruin his confidence down in Double-A. Yeah, we're going to send him to Double-A, and we're going to make him pay his penance down there.
We're going to send him to Lake County, and he'll have his own bobblehead.
I mean, we did everything we could to fuck up Jose Ramirez. Remember when we finally brought him up, and then he failed, and they said, "Oh, he's a failure," and they put him back down again. I mean, they know how to suck the life. They're like succubuses. They know how to suck the life out of people.
Yeah.
It's horrible. And so he's expected to play with AAA Columbus, so they say. They also reassigned their number 17 prospect, Petey Halpin. Now, anyone who calls themselves Petey, it's something.
That's disturbing.
That was the dog in the Little Rascals.
The Little Rascals, or our gang, or however you want to view that.
Yeah.
A name just flashed before my head of the classic person that the Indians ultimately fucked over. There's actually 2 of them. One of them's Andy Marte.
Oh, there you go.
And then the classic one of all time got sent to the Reds, Brandon Phillips.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about people that got fucked over, and it happens every fucking year they do this to people. Oh, Brandon Phillips.
Well, thank you, David. That was more information than we needed to know. That would be the other thing. You whip that out and the party's over.
Or the party's just starting, depending on what kind of party it is. Yeah.
So, and number 1 prospect, Chase DeLauder, he is competing for a spot in the outfield still, they say.
That's bullshit.
But you see, here's the thing. The reason that their number 2 prospect is getting sent down is because he hasn't developed major league power. The thing that the Cleveland Guardians can't get and refuse to pay for. All right. Yeah. On the other hand, DeLauder is a lot closer to showing major league power, so he might have a faster track to the major league team because of the hole this entire organization has put itself in. So, cutting Manzardo comes as a surprise. He was hitting 381 with a 934 OPS, 2 doubles, a pair of RBIs, and 13 Cactus League appearances. He was competing to be Josh Naylor's backup at first base and a designated hitter.
Wow.
Now, he did play for Columbus after the trade last year that we traded Aaron Savali to get him. And he hit 256 while slugging a 590 and posting a 938 OPS with 6 home runs and 8 doubles and 78 at bats. 6 home runs and 78 at bats at AAA.
Pretty damn good.
Pretty damn good. I mean, that's 1 home run for every, get me right, 13 at bats.
12, yeah.
That means he'd be hitting it at a 40 home run pace in AAA. So you're sending him back there. Good going there. That makes me really happy.
Wow.
Now, in 22 games for Peoria in the Arizona Fall League, he hit 272 with a 905 OPS and he had 6 home runs, which tied for the second in that little short-lived league season. It's as far as Halpin, Petey,
Helping. Wow.
yeah, he hit 158 with an RBI in 19 spring at bats. Lavastida, the catcher, 25, hit 182. Like the rest of the team, I think that's the team batting average so far in spring. Oh God.
Wow.
And the reason that they're sending, a promising guy down is so that people like Florial can play, and you're going to see more strikeouts by that guy. But he has power. And the other one, who's the other one? Help me out, people who give a damn about the Guardians.
I'll pass that over to Rick May because I don't give a shit. So.
Yeah, Rick, who's the guy they're hoping is going to have a big power season, even though he strikes out like once every 3 times at bat?
I was going to say Russell Branyan or Charlie Spikes, but
no. I mean, they have somebody who who they're saying is
like Josh Bell or something.
Oh no! This is
him.
another guy, and I really don't know who it is, but people are probably looking it up because they don't give a flying fuck.
Oh God! Oh, did you see the promotions they're giving away this year? They're giving away pickleball bats. That's their big promotion. I got stick on social media.
You mean paddles?
Pickleball paddles. Yeah, pickleball paddles. That's one of their big promotions.
You play pickleball, Moo?
Yeah, that sounds like something Moo probably would have done had he been 10 years younger.
Pickleball, I went out and was watching a friend of mine who invited me to,
was he the inventor of pickleball?
No, but they were really good. And it turns out he was trying to recruit me.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
And
you're their demographic.
Yeah, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Because my back is so bad. I there's no way that I could do that. But it's all reflexes. You're right up at the net and people are bashing this fucking wiffle ball at you. It's really weird.
Yeah, the knee probably wouldn't be able to hold up either.
No.
Tennis, I can see where it's less, aggressive movement. Pickleball, I mean, I couldn't see you leaping and diving for fucking.
No, it's not like that.
It's not that. No,
you serve the ball underhanded.
Yeah,
and you come up to this line, which is called.
It's almost like badminton in a way.
You come up to this line. There's a line.
It is.
You can't go all the way to the net because there's this area called the kitchen. That's what they call it, the kitchen, and which is why all the fat people are hurrying up to get there. And they rush up, and they have to stand behind this line. And so there's a bunch of one of two things. They're either dinking the ball over the net so that you have to bend down and hit it up in the air. And if you hit it up in the air, then they whack it out of the air as hard as they can right at you and smack you with the ball. And it's all reflexes.
Yeah.
All reflexes.
So I got stick on this site for suggesting instead of pickleball paddles that they hand out seat cushions, for the average age.
I mean, in a Guardians
crowd.
game, I'm trying to figure out what the hell they should hand out. I would think
they don't have any stars. Yeah, they don't have any stars, so there's no bobbleheads. The bobbleheads are Charlie Brown characters. Bobbleheads. Seriously, I'm not making this up. They got like Charlie Brown bobbleheads that they're giving out. Peppermint Patty and Schroeder, and it's just pathetic.
Well, I mean, they got to play 162 games this year, and it's going to be interesting as hell. Their pitching is already injured. A bunch of their pitchers ain't going to pitch. Gavin Williams is hurt, and they don't know for how long. So that's all screwed up.
Oh, that's a great name. Gavin Williams. That sounds like a BBC war correspondent.
I thought he was the captain of the Love Boat.
Now we're going over to Gavin Williams in Iraq right now.
So he's hurt. Who's the strikeout
Stickman.
artist who is emotionally unstable with the huge curveball, Karinchak. He's hurt.
Karinchak,
He's hurt.
unstable.
Then Trevor Steffen's gone because he has to have that ulnar
Yeah.
surgery thing because he's tore his UCL. And the pitching is just getting slaughtered before the season even begins. And that was supposedly what they were hanging their hat on for any hopes of winning any games at all. So really unfortunate. Now, as far as the Cleveland Cavaliers are concerned, now things are getting really a little bit hairy after this last game where they looked terrible. And with good reason. They were in New Orleans where they beat the Pelicans, if you last remember, and then they stayed an extra day because this was the only day in their schedule that they had a day off. And
stayed in New Orleans. That's a good idea.
Yeah, and exactly. So they came out the next day after that into Houston, and it was obvious that they were a step slow, and it was obvious what they were doing the night before. It was just not professional, not smart, but an explanation that why we were getting beat to every ball is that if you were hungover, that's exactly how you would play.
Well, the 49 Yankees used to get away with playing hungover, and they won the World Series. But that was a different era back then.
No, I mean, it's tonight they're playing against the 38-30 Pacers, and the Pacers are a team that will wipe the floor with them because Donovan Mitchell is out, and not only a sore knee because they rushed him back from the PRP shot, but he has a nasal fracture.
A nasal fracture.
He took an elbow, and so he fractured his nose.
I saw the clip of that. Yeah.
Yep. So that's what happened to him.
Oh, wow.
And Max Strus now suddenly has no timetable for return. That's right. His knee is really fucked up. Way to go, JB.
Yeah.
You see, and again, when it comes to me calling for somebody to be terminated, it gets to a point like it did with Hue Jackson, the revolutionary leader of the Cleveland Browns. Old Hugh, had to go long before the O. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
This guy was bad news from the get-go. We had a bad go of it with the Raiders. We bring him in, and he was nothing but excuses and all about himself, shameless self-promotion, and I wanted him the hell out of there. So I don't lightly say, oh, fire this guy, fire that guy. But JB needs to be let go at the end of the season. All right. He has no rotational plan whatsoever. And the offense that he's running is antiquated, to say the least. Now, a friend of mine brought up a name that, Budenholzer, who is an interesting name as a coach. He coached for the Raptors. He coached for the Bucks, and he won a championship in the COVID season with the Bucks. And Budenholzer is a guy who has a history of taking teams to the next step. So it was explained to me, and I give credit to other people because I did not really know this. But each of the teams that he took over that we just mentioned, the Raptors and then the Bucks, greatly improved with good players like what the Cavs have.
Yeah.
They took that next step to get through into the second round and beyond in the playoffs. And that's a logical kind of guy that you would look toward. JB's never done this before, and he never will. He's not equipped to have the strategy. And I don't know, the players love him and all this, but I don't look, you don't have to love your boss. The fact of the matter is you got to work harder, and you can't be partying in New Orleans either. It's just if you want to take the next step, you got to sacrifice. You got to get into the weight room. You got to get stronger. You got to play together. You got to pass the ball more. You got to be more consistent night in, night out. And that's the way the season's going to end, with us losing in the first round of the playoffs and JB getting terminated. So the Knicks are already within 2 games of us, and they're going to overtake us. And we just don't have our players. And the worst part of it is, when we don't have our players, JB insists on playing Tristan Thompson and Damian Jones at the same time. It doesn't make any sense. It's 52 pickup, flip a coin. This is who we're going to put in the game. It's pathetic.
Marcus Morris.
Marcus Morris, getting him, I think, was a good idea by the front office, because he's triggered easily.
Can he elbow people and hit them in the face and stuff?
Are you kidding? Without provocation. I mean, but he's unfortunately not real timely. He's the kind of guy who, if you're behind 1 point or 2 points,
then he does it.
Yeah, he'll go off. If somebody just antagonizes him, he'll go off and get a tee and give up the free throw and possession of the ball. He's kind of unraveled that way. But, this team needs something, because we're too many nice guys.
Yeah, exactly.
And this end part of the schedule has been a real ball buster for the Cavaliers, being on the road, having so few days off, and facing the injuries that they're facing, and a deficient head coach. It's really difficult. And if you're going to give minutes to Damian Jones, or if you're going to give minutes to Tristan Thompson, why in the hell don't you get a guy? If you're going to lose these games, get Emoni Bates. Fuck the two-way. He's got plenty of games that he would be able to play. Put him on the floor. Give more time to CPJ. If Donovan Mitchell is going to be out for a while, which all accounts say the next 2 weeks, he's not going to play basketball. If that's the case, CPJ should be the backup point guard, and he should be getting regular rotation minutes, period. And not Karis LeVert. Karis LeVert is a scorer off the bench, and he should play, but he's not a point guard. And JB doesn't seem to understand that. No. He's a lousy ball handler, and he's a me-first kind of guy. We need the scoring off the bench, because Strus is no longer able to play, and Niang is fat, out of shape, and tired at this point of the season.
Hey, I resent that.
No, but we need somebody who can score the basketball, but not from the point guard position. Darius Garland can score the ball that way, but I don't want Karis LeVert. I want CPJ to set things up. He can score points, but unselfish in his approach to the game. You can't, it's one thing to have a guy who comes off the bench and he's, Cam Johnson like he is for the Nets, or, these guys have existed in the league forever, who come off the bench and they're instant offense, That's fine for Karis LeVert. He's not a high percentage guy, but he can get hot. And if he gets hot, he can provide you with necessary points to win games when somebody like Donovan Mitchell can't play.
And he can get hot against the second team of the other team. If you put him against starters that actually know how to defend, then he sucks the big moose. But if you put him out against lesser players, then he might eat him up and score some points and have a big night and get confidence.
Yep. And the other thing is, you need to spread the floor to make Sam Merrill an effective three-point shooter. And with Karis LeVert handling the ball out front, the offense is delayed. We don't get started in our play. And Sam Merrill is stuck because he can't tell which way LeVert's going to go. And with a real point guard like CPJ in the game, CPJ will give motion back to the offense, and that frees up somebody like Sam Merrill and even George Niang, people who could at least have a chance of landing some three-point punches out there. So a 10-day contract, David, is what Marcus Morris signed up for, and they're going to give him a second 10-day before deciding whether they keep him or not. That's the story with Marcus Morris. He does shoot 38% from 3 points, and he's not the greatest defender. He's 34 years old, but he is kind of a tough guy, and the team needs that. So
Yeah.
game's on at 7:00 tonight. So I urge you all,
Not long.
check out Bally Sports or whatever way you want to watch the game and cheer your team on, because this could be a bad stretch of road.
I might do my usual 1 pound viewing that I do. I'll just wait till the Cavs jump out to a 10-point lead early on and and stick a pound on the other team.
Well, and then there's this, what Kenny Pickett said in his first press conference with for the Eagles. He said that he handled the addition of Russell Wilson properly, which how he would handle it is just not big enough. But still, be that as it may, it's an interesting choice of words. I'm confident in the way that I handled it, Pickett said. I handled it the way I should have handled it, but I dropped it. Nope. I'm excited to be here.
He fumbled it.
It worked out so well that Philly was the place I ended up landing in. Everything happens for a reason, and I'm
Oh,
right where I'm supposed to be. And that's why I say it's wonderful, wonderful. It's really not that wonderful, folks.
it's a question for you guys. I mean, is there a rivalry between Pittsburgh and Philadelphia? You'd think there would be, but I don't think there is.
Yeah.
Not in football.
Not in any sense, really. I mean, I don't know whether
No,
the Penguins
big.
and the Flyers or
Pickett
Yeah,
is not
yeah.
even
Hockey's the only
Maybe.
game.
Pickett, I mean, he's behind Jalen Hurts. He's not going to take Jalen
oh
Hurts.
God,
out.
no.
And they also have Tanner McKee, who the team, according to sources, are high on him. So it may be a wonderful place, but it's a wonderful place to take pictures, have somebody take a picture of you standing next to the Rocky
The Liberty
statue.
Bell. The Liberty Bell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. But
I've been there.
No.
Oh, Tanner McKee. That sounds like a great porn name.
Pickett,
Anyway.
according to reports, said that he refused the role of backup to Mason Rudolph. I can't say I blame
Oh, he
him
wasn't going to
there.
go behind the sleigh and let Rudolph lead the sleigh, and he wasn't going to be Donner or Blitzen or whatever. Yeah, I get it.
And now we have another young retirement. I'll finish out the show this way. Leighton Vander Esch retiring after his release from the Cowboys. He's 28 years old. He's had a bunch of injuries throughout his time with the Cowboys, including living in Dallas, including a neck issue last season after he was pushed from behind, leading to an awkward collision, which ultimately ended his season after 5 games. He was named to the Pro Bowl in his rookie year, if you remember.
He was a good
Neck
player.
issues were a concern entering the draft, continued to be. In 2019, he missed 7 of the final 9 games with a neck injury. In 2022, he missed the final 4 regular season games with a stinger. And I think that's enough to make anybody retire, because it sounds like he's on the verge of being crippled for life.
Yeah.
So I'm always happy when players get out. I hope he made his money and he invests it wisely. He's 28 years old. He's got his whole life ahead of him. And, he was a 2018 first round pick and 469 tackles, 3 interceptions, 3.5 sacks, and 3 forced fumbles in his career. It's time to move on and do something else. Good luck.
Yeah, I forget what college he went to, but he was good at university.
Was he at Boise State?
Oh, I don't care.
Where was
He was
Leighton
good,
Vander
though.
Esch? Where did he play?
Boise State Broncos, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was good when he was like the captain of their team or something. But
Yeah, and it's just a bad break that when you're leading with your head in so many tackles, the neck, when it goes, and you start getting stingers, you got to get out of the game.
Yeah,
It's
and,
not
and then he was wandering along the grassy knoll in Dallas, and that didn't help him either. So
So, at any rate, I appreciate Tony and I appreciate you,
Mhm.
Bronk, and I
Sure.
appreciate
Yay.
everybody for tuning in to this edition of Moohead Radio. I'll be back again on Friday. You needn't worry. I'll probably have more to say then. But usually I say enough.
So is today Moohead Pastor Head Appreciation Day? Then, we should get a little parting gift, and a pat in the back.
Wait a minute. There you go.
That's your parting gift.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. I'll see you on Friday. Until then, hasta la vista, Pastor Heads. Good night.
Boo.